What is up, everybody? Team Nato here, back with another video, and tonight we will be answering the question, does gear matter? Now, this is a question that gets asked around all over YouTube. It's all over YouTube. A lot of YouTubers out there are talking about this particular topic, and I wanted to weigh in on it. So, does gear matter? My short answer is no, but what I really want to say is yes and no. So let me dive into the specifics of it. So no, why no? If you're starting out, if you're new to photography, of course you wouldn't go ahead and buy expensive camera gear right away unless you're ultra rich. I suggest you get something more affordable and practice with it, because getting used to using a camera is pretty hard. It will take some time, it will take a lot of practice. So what I usually suggest is that you get something more affordable, maybe get something used, but you need to practice a lot and get the hang of using a camera, no matter what brand that is, be it Canon, Nikon, Sony, Lumix, whatever camera brand it is you want to buy. But if you're new, if you're starting out, I suggest you get something more affordable, practice with it, learn the basics with it. It will be a breeze for you to, not really a breeze, but with the general knowledge of photography, upgrading gear will be much better. So what usually happens is that you upgrade to a gear that can't keep up with your growth anymore. Like, for example, so I went over into the internet and looked for the cheapest camera I can buy, the cheapest DSLR I can buy, cheapest Canon DSLR I can buy, and I found this 1100D. It was used, so as you can see, there are no rubber covers here already. The eyepiece is missing, and there's a bit of vignetting on the screen, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. So there you can see a bit of vignetting there. Other than that, it is a working camera, and I decided to do like an experiment comparing the images that you get out of this with the 18 to 55 kit lens versus the Canon EOS R with this 24 to 105L. So a couple of photos of some of my shoes and this Apple Watch. So here are the photos side by side. See if you can tell which one is from the EOS R and which one came from this 1100D, which is, I think, 10 years old. I think this was launched back in 2010. That's like 12 megapixels, I think. Let's check. Yep, this is 1200. This has 12.2 megapixels, 9 autofocusing points, and here are the photos. Try to guess which one came from the EOS R, which one came from this Canon 1100D. If you're wondering, I got this for like 4,000 pesos with the 17 to 55 kit lens. I think this is the version 2 of the kit lens. Alright, so as you can see, there are a bit of differences between the photos, but again, this is not a very, in terms of price, it's very far apart. So you can get very decent pictures with this camera, with this kit lens, and I suggest if you're new, to get something like this or something newer if you got a little bit more of a budget. So now for the yes part, does gear matter? Yes. Short answer is, if gear doesn't matter, all of those professional photographers won't be using best gear out there. So it does matter depending on what you are shooting. If you're more of a sports photographer, of course you're gonna need something faster, something bigger, something that could keep up with quickness or the speed of sports. Or if you're a wildlife photographer, you need something again faster if you want to take a picture of that running cheetah or running antelope or running whatever animal. And you need something a bit more weather resistant when it comes to that. So I don't think this will be ideal, because although it took pretty good photos, it took a while to focus. I mean, the autofocus in this camera, or and camera and lens combination, isn't as good as you want it to be, or isn't as fast as you would want it to be. But again, if you're starting, this is more than capable. And gear matters, yes, because when you keep on practicing with something cheaper, something more affordable, of course you will be able to raise your skill as a photographer. So that's when you're gonna need a new camera, because what will happen is your camera won't be able to give you what you need, give you what you want. So that's when you really need to upgrade the camera. In my case, I upgraded to the EOS R coming from an 800D, which I already sold. I wasn't even able to make a goodbye video. It was that fast. So the reason why I upgraded is I wanted a better sensor, a full frame sensor now, and I wanted to have the video capability of the Canon EOS R. I wanted to learn how to play with C-Log, with log profiles. I wanted to learn how to color grade. So it made sense for me to upgrade to the EOS R. So I saved up and finally was able to buy it, and it was one of the best moments of my life. So anyway, going back, does gear matter? If you're new to photography, it doesn't really matter. What matters is you practice as much as you can, build your skills as a photographer or as a videographer, and when the time comes, you'll know when you'll be ready to upgrade your gear. Now, some bonus tips, maybe if you're a photographer, you want to be a photographer and just got your first camera and you're starting to really learn things, you're starting to really master your camera, I suggest you don't upgrade the body right away. I suggest you invest first on nice lenses, invest on nice glass, and it will make a difference. Like for this Canon, if you want to buy this Canon 1100D, you can buy L lenses for it. It will fit perfectly. For example, I will show you. Look at that plastic. I will show you. It'll fit. It will fit perfectly. It's gonna up your image quality. It's gonna help you take better photos. So right away you see the difference. It auto focuses quickly, and it will help you with your photography. And once you decide to upgrade on a full frame body or a better body, you can still use the lenses for it, unless you do decide to switch systems, like jump to Sony. But for Sony, I think you can get those adapters, which so you can still use your Canon lenses. So yeah, that's a bonus tip. Upgrade first your lenses before upgrading your camera body. So I hope you did learn something today. I hope that it sheds a little light if you're a photographer and you're looking for new gear, or if you're planning to start out with photography and you're looking to buy your first camera. It's just, you started with your phone and it's just not enough anymore, and you're looking for your first camera. You can buy something like this, something cheap like this, and still get nice quality photos, even with the older kit lens here. So but yeah, you can buy a used camera. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it doesn't take quality photos, quality images. You can still take some nice images with this camera here. So I hope you did learn something. I hope that I shed some light regarding gear, upgrading of gear, and what gear to use in general. If you have questions, leave it at the comment section down below. You can give me a DM, slide into my DMs on Instagram if you have any more questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. I like how my hair's getting longer. Peace.